Why good communication isn't enough to save a marriage. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Why your partner disrespects you and how you have the power to influence a different lifestyle, a different adventure for your marriage. Will this work for me? Stop sending miles of text messages. Your wife withholding sex from you. Truth, integrity, moving fast, and sound decisions. Why good communication isn't enough to save a marriage. Welcome to the Morrow Marriage podcast, guys, where we are real, raw, uncensored, and anointed. Prayer 5. Okay, guys, this is important. I want to remind you of something I speak about all the time. There's no such thing as communication is key. Now, hold up. I know why you think that. The world is constantly telling you communication is key, and you know Kathryn's thing about go to bed angry instead of don't go to bed angry, okay? But here's the thing. Too many of you guys are stuck trying to communicate, and I want to break this down. Conversation is when you were talking, laughing, dreaming, achieving. Do you remember, guys, when you first met your spouse and you were like so excited, nobody cared about who was interrupting who. Nobody took anything personal. You didn't feel the need to be defensive. You were like hanging on the edge of your seat. Ping, 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 ping is how we describe it. Where when
your spouse was wrong, you actually were like, oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, tell me more. Like, yeah, good one. Like, guys, ping, 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 ping. Like the conversation should be feeding off. This is when your intimacy is building and creating the foundation for your emotional connection when you started. Because you were allowed to be yourself. You probably hid some of yourself, okay, which created problems later in your life. Because you were thinking about communicating and showcasing yourself in a way that would sell you to this person you were interested in, okay?
Can we introduce our new family member before he jumps away?
Let's do it.
Everybody, if you're not on YouTube, you need to go to YouTube. This is Legend.
Isn't
he cute?
He's an elf cat, hairless.
How are we going to get anyone to go to YouTube now that they know what he is?
Oh, okay. Pretend you didn't hear that. Go to YouTube.
Earmuffs. Go to YouTube and see Legend. He's trying to jump off my lap, but I wanted to show you guys. Isn't he cute?
Super cute.
Look, he's a model. Okay.
All right. So when we focus on trying to repair after all of the years of your guys' lack of communication skills, it's important to recognize you do need communication skills. But we want to get you to conversations. So we can't get to conversations. If by now you've been so defensive, there's a lot of resentment, bitterness, both of you stuck in the past. I've heard a lot on calls, inviting people to the program this week about people saying, my spouse has double standards, meaning I'm not allowed to yell, but then she'll yell at me. These are all poor communication skills. But we know something that a lot of you don't. Communication is not stringing words together, okay? That would be carefully thought words that you use and where you want to go structuring in conversation. But when you're struggling with all of the years of the bullshit, you're trying to figure out, and remember, we don't want you addressing symptoms, we want you addressing issues. Okay, communication is 80% nonverbal. Teach them, baby, teach them, preach.
I don't actually know if it's 80%. I don't know the statistic, but what part do you want me to start with?
Well, what are the other ways we communicate?
So body language is a big one. Tone, facial expressions, gestures, all of the things, those are all kind of the same thing. But what you say and how you say it, they can be two very different things. So you might want to say there's Legend on Cass's shoulder, like a little parrot. You might want to say something nice, but if there's a bad tone, negative body language, maybe closed off body language, or you're flailing your arms around and you're trying to say something calmly, but your body is angry, you're not going to convey the message that you're trying to convey because it's more than just your words that comes across.
This is so valuable. The reason why I wanted Kathryn to introduce that to you is because I used to pace back and forth. A lot of people, when they get angry or frustrated, that's how they think. They pace. This would cause Kathryn to feel flooded. It's not just the words coming out of my mouth. So I remember she would say, you're yelling. And I would say, I'm not yelling. I'm just passionate. Okay?
While he was yelling, though.
Well, you have to understand, if we understand communication, then we need to realize that in my reality, it's not what I know I'm capable of, so I'm not yelling, okay? Then I would turn that around and flip that on Kathryn, being like, well, since you're not used to yelling and you don't like yelling, then what are you doing? And I would come at her for her elevated tone. And believe it or not, she can yell occasionally, but it's nothing like what I was capable of, okay? There was other things, the body language she was talking about. I would clap my hands to get a point across.
Or like point to his head if he was trying to make me feel like an idiot.
Now, this is really important to understand because in your journey, when you are controlling your anger a little, anger is an easy one, guys, okay? When you're learning to regulate yourself and you are doing things differently, your body language will give off the actual emotion you're trying to share or trying not to share, and you think you're doing a good job, and then your partner triggers you and it escalates.
You guys ever hear the saying? So someone says, I'm not angry, and you want to say, tell your face. You know?
Tell your face.
Because your words are saying it, but if you look at what I'll say to our daughter, Vale, talk to me without those angry eyebrows, and she'll go from a furrowed brow to I just have to remind her, your eyebrows are very angry right now, so I can tell that you're a little bit frustrated. Let's try to talk without angry eyebrows.
That's right.
You might say that you're not angry, but tell your face. You might say you're not sad. There's nothing wrong. Tell your face. Tell your body. Control yourself. So what he's trying to say is you make one change. So you change what you're saying. You also have to change how you're saying it, the intonation, the tone, the body language, the gestures, like pointing at your head if you're trying to tell someone they're an idiot. They'll know what you mean if you've told them they're an idiot and point at your head, right? Just because you're saying something nice and you're doing the old gesture that you used to do, your husband or your wife is going to connect the dots. You didn't marry a stupid person.
That's right. So this is really, really important to understand because so many of you will make these steps and you will move things forward. You will pick one or two things and you don't realize, even now with Kathryn, lots of times I'm like, am I making the face? Like I'm really trying to understand if it's my resting sneer face, because I actually thought it was the same face all the time, right? You trying to come up? Oh, I was talking to the cat, not my wife.
I'll climb up if I want to.
Yes.
But yeah, so for anyone who hasn't really gotten a breakdown of this, so he has this face. It's his confused face, his angry face, his frustrated face. He makes the face a lot. But mostly when it comes out is when he's disgusted in an argument. And that's when it's the worst. And so we've coined it the resting sneer face because he just sneers all the time. Now, I would question that and I would actually challenge that because it's an active sneer face. He doesn't sneer all the time. He has to actively do the sneer on his face. But now, because we've gotten so far in our journey, he's changing what he says to me. He changes the volume that he says it to me.
I definitely don't clap.
He doesn't clap. If he does it actually passionately, and I'll be like, whoa, that just...
And lots of times I'll be proactive. I'll be like, oh shit, sorry, babe.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Right. It can still trigger her.
Yes, he doesn't point to his head like I'm an idiot anymore. So he's changed...
Well, you're not. I don't know who was telling you that for
you.
So long.
And so the last piece is the facial expression that he makes when he's speaking. I'm like, you might not be yelling, you might not have tone, you might not have body language, but tell your face. Tell your face what you're trying to do so your face can get on board. And right, guys, baby?
Yeah.
So that's the last piece. And he'll be like, am I making the face right now? And I'm like, no, honey.
And I'd really encourage you because I still talk to you a little bit that way when you're watching this on YouTube. You'll be able to see if you pay attention when I'm getting super passionate, when I'm actually frustrated with you, and it's not you specifically, but it's the yous that I've been talking to. And if it resonates with you, you probably don't like what I have to say. And so it triggers you. Yes, the delivery could be different, but I'm telling you, people get on the phone with me and join the program because they want me to tell them like it is. And if it means you're an idiot,
See, he just pointed to his head, you guys.
then that's what I do, right?
Women do not want to be spoken to quite like that.
They don't. Even
men, write it down. Do not point to your head and call your wife an idiot.
Try not to. It's also very feminine to be pacing back and forth. Now, I still love to pace when I'm thinking. It just like the movement gets me going. When I'm speaking for you guys and you guys come to an event, I want you to stand. I want you to have energy. I want you to be involved, right? So there are times when it's okay and it's not feminine. It's like part of the process. But when you're dealing with communication issues, okay, quote unquote, you've got to learn that all of these little things, this is why we would say you're better off being in the program for 30 days and not talking about a damn fucking thing with your partner while you learn communication skills. And here's why. Because nothing is going to go super sideways in 30 days. If it is, it already was, okay? But you can develop the skills to fix some of these behaviors, the nonverbal cues and the verbal cues, focusing on what you want to say. So much of what we teach you is how to respond, how to lead your partner away from the conflict into repair. And this is when you can start focusing on conversation. Okay? Very, very important. Communication will serve its purpose. And always, if we get into a disagreement, which is pretty uncommon, but if we do disagree, we have to use those communication skills. okay? But that is not where the resolve comes from. The resolve comes from the reflection, okay? And the idea of taking responsibility and ownership on each of our sides, and then encouraging the conversation to go towards the goals, okay? Does that make sense?
What was the name of this podcast episode?
Communication is, I can't exactly remember.
Okay, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to make sure we came full circle because I remember we started it with communication is not key. And we know that it is. You do need to learn how to communicate, but you have to learn all the pieces of communication, not just talking something to dead, right? To death.
Let me give you kind of a different perspective to think of from, okay? I'll give you an example. So I'm going to use this example in two different ways. One is sexually, one non-sexually, okay? In the middle of an argument, when we think about my stat response, Kathryn is the A for adventure, okay? She used to say things that would, like, I couldn't help but laugh. Unless I chose to stay in my anger and say, fuck you, cunt, okay? So, but if
With the sneer and probably pointing to his head.
And pacing, maybe throwing some shit, maybe getting the police called. But
goodness. Goodness gracious.
Sorry. if you understand that what she was doing was using a communication technique leading towards conversation. One time, really recently, I was feeling heated, feeling very frustrated. And what did you say? You said, I just want to connect and fuck. I was in the middle of what I was saying and I blah, 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 blah.
What?
Connect and fuck? She said, yeah.
I can't do that because he won't, that we all know how I feel about men and women and intimacy, right? We go back and listen to all the other things, all the other episodes. So I knew I needed to get through to him. And for the first 6 years of our marriage, actually, I think it was the first 6, but I would say this isn't helping. So we'd be fighting and he'd be getting pouty about sex. And I'd be like, this is the exact reason I cannot be with you as much as you need because of this shit. So yes,
or all the anger and all the fights and all that stuff.
Right. So in a fight, I knew that it would snap him out of where he was because that's what he wants. But in his reality that he was in during the fight, he was not focused on the actual goal. He was going down rabbit holes. And so when I pull him out of that by saying, this is not only my goal, but it's your goal, and we can't get there by doing this. And it was like, he was like, what?
But now it's even so much faster. I mean, like, she literally, I don't even know, it wasn't even that big, I can't even remember. And you just like, I just want to connect and fuck. And I like, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, connection time, right? So that's an example of using, like, is that funny? No, but it's kind of funny when you think about it. If somebody's getting heated and you're just like, I just want, like, just
what are you doing? It's like being like, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like, without pointing to my head.
But
it's like the theme of the hour here.
But the other example I was talking to a man who's so frustrated because his wife wants to talk about all kinds of other shit during sex. Well, that's a connect issue. Okay, you're not connected. And then sometimes, like I've learned from Kathryn can actually get quite chatty, and it can actually be quite fun. It can change the whole. Not every time. But this other
couple, she wants to talk about serious things.
Yeah, which is probably the connection deflection, trying to get away from,
And she wants apologies and she wants repair during the act of intercourse.
Yeah.
Save that conversation for either before or after. And when you are being intimate with your partner, this is a really special time. Try to keep the focus on what is going on between the two of you.
Yeah.
If you put it on the past or even on the future, if it's something negative that you're trying to repair, you're going to kill the mood. And ladies, it's already difficult for you. If you're listening to this podcast, most of you are having a very hard time connecting with your husband. Turn all that shit off when you're intimate with your partner.
I'm just going to give I'm going to drop a bomb for you guys here. So exciting right now. So yesterday when Kathryn and I were doing our thing, it was in the bathroom. It was a fast one. And she took out a marker and wrote, I love you, XXX. Oh, like
as we were
doing it. Like, it doesn't have to be what you think it is. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's still on the mirror. I thought it was so cute. I was like, this is hot, right? Because if you understand a man, you guys, ladies, listen, okay? We want to feel wanted. If she's saying I love you in a creative way and we're doing it and then we're doing it, like, it was pretty connecting, okay? So just think outside the box. That spurred a bit of a conversation during the act that was actually fun.
Connecting.
It
was cute.
Yeah, it was very
Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent. We should go to the next episode.
Communication, skills get you to conversation. Then you turn that into the structure of everything you want and where you go. Okay? We'll see you next time.
Bye.